can't believe you made it all the way here.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
From the little hick town of Calgary to Los Angeles.
And you not the same?
I always knew.
That what? You were going to be somebody, that you were going to be something, huh?
Yeah.
How could you look at me and be like, you made it here? Like, damn. I mean, yes, but like,
Don't
hey.
you feel that way about yourself?
I do,
Yeah.
but hey, you saying that about me is different. It's like, I can't believe you made it out.
But you can, though.
But I can now because I see you sitting here, or like I've been with you all these years. How could you not see that after being with me all these years, huh?
Who's most likely to go on Reddit and write positive things about themselves in hate forums?
Me.
Who's most likely to be the reason the group falls apart?
Yeah, it's me.
Who's more likely to be mean to their crush?
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another We Were Fighting Before This podcast. What were you fighting about before this?
My name.
Oh, right. Apparently, I've been pronouncing Yvonne's name wrong. How do you say your name again?
What do you mean? Apparently, I've told you this before. And so Chelsea was asking her earlier. She's like, I'm so sorry, I've been saying your name wrong. Like, how do I actually say it? And then I told her, oh, don't worry about it, because none of my friends say it right.
Okay, you should stick up for yourself. And when someone says it wrong, maybe say something. See something, say something. You're the reason why crimes go unreported.
Do you want to be the person who's like, actually, my name is
It's
Yvonne.
not actually. This is just, hey, my name's actually pronounced blank. How do you pronounce your name?
Yvonne.
How do I pronounce it?
Yvonne.
Yvonne.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's more casual.
You know, the thing is, you're telling me this. You should correct people. I have literally told you how my name is supposed to be pronounced.
Once. You told me once, and I forgot about it.
I'm pretty sure it's been more than once. You just did not keep it to heart.
Everyone calls you Yvonne anyway. Watch the clips and the podcasts and the videos and the streams. Yeah, everyone calls you Yvonne.
Okay. It doesn't bother me at all, because to me, you're all saying my name still. Yvonne, Yvonne. Only actually, I think 3 people in our friend group say my name correctly.
Yeah, then why are you making such a big deal out of this?
I'm not. You're the one who's like, I was like, I've told you before. And then you're like, I'm not going to break a 5-year habit just because blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, just because what?
That's not what it sounds like. That's actually really passive aggressive that you mocked me. You know, imitation in an argument is like the rudest thing you can do.
I feel like I go crazy sometimes, because I feel like I thought this was about me and like pronouncing my name.
I'm making it about me now.
And then you go like, I'm not going to break a 5-year habit. And then you're like, I feel bad about this. I'm like, you've been saying my name wrong forever. And I don't even say shit about it.
Right. I'm sorry, Yvonne.
No, go back. No,
Yvonne?
it's weird. No, it's weird.
I will, for the rest of this podcast, pronounce it the correct way, Yvonne.
You're still saying, you're like saying Yvonne.
I'm enunciating the Y.
It's not Yi, it's Yvonne.
Yvonne.
Why
Yvonne.
do you...
Yvonne.
This just hurts more. Can you just go back to before? Even when you're trying to say it right, you're like throwing in longer ways
I'm
to
actually
say
really
it.
sensitive about the way I pronounce words, because as a kid, I was bullied because I couldn't speak English so good. And this is like bringing up really bad memories. Are you a self-hating Asian?
Self-hating?
Yeah.
No. I never really got the shame that I think a lot of people unfortunately experience growing up. I never really went to school with like, my mom actually used to make the fontan stuff and like give it to me to eat for lunch, and I never got made fun of for that. So I always felt, well, Canada was very multicultural. For me, the elementary and junior high or high school was always very smooth. I never really feel like I got bullied, other than like random kids being immature, you know, say the C word or like whatever, like
Sorry, what's
randomly.
the C word?
Well, I can say it because I'm Chinese, right?
I say it.
I think it's different though.
Say it. Say it.
You know, one time me and Leslie were like, we could say it to each other though. And then we looked at each other and we're like, say it. But it's just because it's never used in like almost never in positive terms. So I can never say it like even just for fun. It just feels wrong.
Say it.
Why'd you say it?
Well, I don't have to. I don't feel the need to say that word. I also don't like that word.
I don't like it either.
Because it's a word that
it doesn't even sound nice or pretty.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you would use it just normally. It's a word that you would specifically say.
Yeah, as a mean thing. It wasn't even like endearing. There's no like camaraderie in it. It feels it's just aggressive sounding word.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, we need a word to really insult people from Asian for being like from Asia from being Asian. So
Yeah.
we're gonna use this word.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever been called that word?
I think by like random people that
Like
I don't know,
kids?
strangers.
Strangers? As an adult?
It might be kids, yeah, but like I actually haven't come across it myself that many times in my life, thankfully. So, but I hear about all the stories that, it did happen to people, or that the lunch times that people bring their like homemade food to the cafeteria and get made fun of, and that sounds god awful.
That happened to me in my elementary school. There was this kid, Ben. He was a bit of a jerk. And I brought, honestly, it was pretty lit. It was popcorn, like shrimp, but Asian style. So I don't know what the hell his problem is. And he's like, he did the whole like, ew, what is that? But I don't recall it bothering me. You know what did bother me? He ended up trying one. He's like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I asked, hey, can I have some of your lunch? And he said no. That
That's
pissed
like
me off
what?
way more. It's like, I don't care if you don't like Asian food. I think it's gross. But I gave you some of my lunch and you won't give me some of your lunch?
Yeah.
I got called Jackie Chan, which as a kid, I didn't really feel racist. And
Did it sound like a compliment? Because I think some people think they're complimenting you when they say these things.
no, it was just like, I'm Asian, Jackie Chan is Asian. And they'll say, well, the common thing is, hey, do you know Kung Fu? And which part are you from North Korea?
Okay.
These are the kids. These are the things the white kids in my elementary school would ask me. I went to elementary school in a pretty small white town, Kingston, Ontario, the leading town for prisons in all of Canada. Fun fact.
Prisons?
Prisons, yes. We have the most correctional facility per square mile out of any city. And that's where I immigrated to at the young age of 12. And I didn't speak much English, but the English I did learn was from Malaysia International School. So I spoke English with a heavy accent. So people had a hard time understanding me. The biggest struggle I had was with the word three. Because in Southeast Asia, they don't say three.
I mean, TH in general is a hard,
Yeah,
it's supposed to be one of the
There's
tougher
some
words.
subtlety like th.
Yeah.
But there's none of that. They don't teach you that in international school. They call it tree. Like,
Oh.
you heard that mean? Like
yeah.
tree fitty.
Yeah.
It's because Asian people, when they are taught English, they don't really have that th sound.
Yeah.
So when I first moved to Canada, anytime I would have to say the number 3, I knew it was a struggle. And initially, I didn't know why. And then I listened to other people say the word 3. It's like, oh, I need to add a th sound. It's also one of the reasons why I try speaking a little slower so that I can enunciate. And enunciation is something I'm very sensitive about. Anytime someone asks me to repeat myself, like it hits me in my insecurities just a little bit.
Oh, so you don't think that they can't hear you? They just think they couldn't hear what you were saying.
I think for the
Clearly.
most time, it's because I am soft-spoken and not necessarily I'm pronouncing something wrong.
Yeah.
But when they say, hey, what'd you say? For a brief second, it's like, oh, it's because I pronounced it wrong because I'm just this fucking immigrant who can't speak English properly. And then I think, no, it's probably because you are soft-spoken or you weren't speaking directly to them. I crash out for a microsecond as the years of generational English speaking trauma floods in.
To be so for real, my first thought when you told me that was like to weaponize it one day when you pissed me off.
Asked me to repeat myself.
But that was a split-second intrusive thought. I want you to know.
That's really messed up because I'm here sharing like one of my traumas, and you think, how can I weaponize this against them?
I know. That's why I confessed it.
And that makes it better?
Yeah. I feel better now that you know. I do have one word that I'm really insecure about. But it's oh my god, I don't want to say it.
Like, you have trouble pronouncing this word?
Well, it's because one time I was at a Korean restaurant and I was talking about food, and then I said bulgogi. And then my friend was like, never say that ever again because I can't. And then he tried teaching me, but I can't say the bul, like they do like a little, it's like different. And I can't get that because I don't think we really have a word that we, that's
not
similar,
even a
maybe
language.
pronunciation.
Was this guy Korean?
Yeah, he's Korean.
Yeah,
It's
the way I
tactical.
describe it is like you're spilling your words. bulgogi. I'm gonna get so canceled by
We
Koreans.
might have
My mom is Korean, okay?
What does that-
Okay?
well,
I got a shield. I did a DNA test. I'm 8% Korean.
oh, I did not know that. But yeah, I just can't pronounce it. So every time I always have a hard time saying it in front of my friends who are Korean because I don't want them to cringe.
I think it's fine.
And then I have this thing where do I go the American way or do I attempt the Korean way when I say, you know what I mean? Do I go just straight up go full like bulgogi or
don't say the Korean way. Because okay. You know what pisses me off? So there's this game Valorant we play, and the Japanese character called Yoru.
Yoru.
Don't do that. His name, everyone calls him Yoru, right? Which is the English pronunciation.
You know, Scar had a problem with this too.
Yeah, because it's fucking sanctimonious. Japanese people pronounce it Yoru.
Yeah.
Right? We're Japanese. And then when people who speak English, who doesn't really speak Japanese, and we're playing a game, and then they say, oh, watch out, Yoru coming. I'm like, first of all, you fuck. Okay?
Okay.
You American-born piece of shit. You pronounce it like an American, all right? I don't care how weeb you are. You don't get, this is not the time to flex how cultured you are. Just call it Yoru.
But the problem is like, okay, if I knew it was pronounced like a certain way and do you just like keep pronouncing it the way that is not, well, like wrong almost? Like, how do I describe
Just
it?
pronounce it how Americans would pronounce it.
Yeah,
Like
I
if
get
we
it.
go to a Korean restaurant, you don't have to say bulgogi, right? Just call it bulgogi.
Yeah, it's just what's wrong with saying it the right way? Unless it's like you do get the vibes of them like being a little try hard in that, but like if you don't get the vibes and they're saying it, I feel like I would be like they just know how to pronounce it.
How do you pronounce croissant?
Croissant.
Yeah. Do you pronounce it the French way?
Well, I didn't actually notice that I did. I would just tell people, like I want croissant, and then people would be like, oh, your accent. I was like, because I'm not saying, I don't even know how to say it normally anymore. Croissant. Okay, yeah. So I'm not trying to be try hard. It's just like I've heard it so much, and I did go to like French immersion, so I would say like croissant. Yeah, and I like saying it. It's like croissant. Like it sounds kind of fun for me. So I'm not saying to be try hard at all, but so that's why I'm wondering, like, is it if you just naturally know, or like, because you would know, say yoru, for example, right? It'd be like, I know that the R, because I was taught that like that is a D. It sounds kind of like a D for the R. Because my cat before was called Miru, but her name when you spell it is Miru. So I was used to calling her that. I don't call Yoru like that, but like I know that it's that. Would you judge me if I called it that?
Call it what? Miru or Yoru?
Yoru.
If you called it Yoru,
Yeah.
I would cringe at you, especially since I've never heard you call Yoru.
Oh, like since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, look, I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to pronounce something that makes sense in their native tongue, but we're speaking English. And I know this makes me sound like a conservative Republican, but it's more like, hey, man, okay, yeah, no, you did 1 year abroad in Japan. We're all fucking impressed. Shut the fuck up and play the game.
So stupid. It's like I get both. I totally get both. I know, because I would also think that a little bit, but then I also understand people who probably like had an experience maybe where they're like so accustomed to a pronunciation or like a way of something.
This is probably relates to my trauma of like trying to speak perfect English, and the self-hatingness Asian part of me.
Do you self-hate?
I don't know. I really don't know if I don't think I'm a self-hating Asian. Like I don't hate Asian people because I'm Asian. And
do you hate yourself being Asian?
I don't hate myself being Asian.
Okay.
I don't. It's hard to describe, and I feel like all different kinds of Asians have different opinions on how much Asianness you're supposed to represent, bring to your platform, especially as people who are in the public eye. Even though, in my opinion, I'm considered like small, like I'm a small pond in a big ocean when it comes to Asian representation. Is there any responsibility of me trying to uplift Asian culture by specifically putting a spotlight on Asianness? And I don't even know what Asianness means. Or should I just focus on being the best content creator I can be, and I just happen to be Asian, and that kind of...
I feel like it's whatever's natural to you. I don't think people should enforce you and be like, you need to be like a good Asian American representative, or you need to do this. It's just like, for me personally, I feel very happy or like proud, and I love when I get to showcase things that people never get to see. That's, part of my culture. And that comes, I think, at least creating a space where it feels fun and really receptive for people to hear about it. Because the thing I just wouldn't want is if I talk about it, people are like, oh, that's weird. So I do think that it was very important, because then it makes it a lot more, out there. Everyone's very more educated in that way about it. But I just think you just shouldn't be forced to. But whatever feels good for you, Like if you like your Taiwanese, Chinese culture, whatever it is, and like just at least not be ashamed to not say anything about it. I wouldn't want you to feel that, but
when it's AAPI, my Twitch comes around and say, hey, all the Asian streamers, who wants to be on the front page of Twitch?
Yeah.
Because we want to feature all of you. And every time that happens, I don't sign up. It's like, I don't. I think I'm a pretty big content creator, and that opportunity is way better for like smaller Asian and AAPI creators. But it also feels like, oh, should I get something that's not given to others, but only being presented to me because I'm Asian? Or should I just try and work for it without that?
How do I describe it? You're like being promoted and being a big Asian content creator gives a lot of opportunities for future Asian content creators out there. Like that's the way I see it when people are like, oh, it's like Women's Month or something, International Women's Day or whatever it is. And they're like, oh, we want to do something for women in gaming and all this stuff. Whenever I see stuff like that being promoted, or when they ask me to do something, I just see it as the more that it's being showcased, there's going to be more opportunity for future ones to benefit from, or like to have opportunity. Because the reason why they're giving us these opportunities is because they weren't always there. And so we're still like almost still paving the way, or like trying to make it easier for like future generations to have that.
Now, do you think, $1 trillion Amazon cares about AAPI, or do they care about the optics about caring about AAPI, or any social cause for that matter?
They might not. I just think it's better to take the opportunity that they're giving than to not at all. It's some awareness, it's something. Then, yeah, obviously it would be nice if they did care. But sometimes it's like regardless if they do or not, we take the W's where we can, or like make a little progress somewhere.
Yvonne's art piece for today is actually a very beautiful picture of Somi. Who took this picture?
I did. We were going on a road trip. I had Somi come out of her carrier, and then she looked out the window just like that, and then I took the picture.
It's a good picture. I have a hypothetical question. If you had to kill someone's pet and be responsible, if you had to be responsible for the death of a pet, would you rather be your own or your best friend's?
Oh my God. I think I would have to, it would have to be my own. I feel like I don't know if I could live with the guilt of killing my friend's cat.
So you would rather kill your own cat than your friend's cat?
Well, it's kind of like, would you rather you suffer or like someone else suffers? I feel guilty, but I would feel at least I'm suffering for my guilt, or, Like I would feel guilty and then someone else is suffering for my actions. It's tough because I would hate myself if I killed Somi somehow, but I also cannot bear killing being the responsible for killing somebody
Assuming
else.
both of us equally love our own pets and they
Yes.
represent the same thing, I think I would kill my own pet. But let me bump that up one more level.
I'm sorry.
Now it's your son. I think if it's your son, I would rather my best friend's child die than my child die. Which goes to show we value human and animals' lives differently. Let's say burning building, you gotta pick one.
Yeah, I unfortunately feel the same because I think, well, like I would have to give birth to one, and I didn't, and like I think when you have that bond and everything, it is truly like so insane. I totally get parents who would shield their kid no matter what. Like it's, yeah. I don't. Where the hell did this question come from?
You presented a picture of your cat
That
and that
does
reminded
not.
me.
And that makes you ask, like, who would you kill?
Well, so I live with Somi, and there have been thoughts of like, ooh, Yvonne's not here, and someone needs to take care of her. What if one of us gets her killed or loses her? Which I mean, she has run out a few times when we caught her.
Yeah.
And every time in those moments, I'm like, okay, her cat's dead. How bad does this feel? Oh, it feels pretty bad. And every time we recover her, it's like, oh my God, thank God she's not dead. Because the conversation I would have to have Yvonne would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah. I've recently thought more and more about Somi potentially dying one day because she's turning 5 next month, and it makes me really sad. I really think there is nothing other than like your first real true pet that like it just cannot be replaced. You know how Lily, you know, she still loves Binky, and she got Binky after Temmie because she's like, if or when Temmie dies, like it's gonna be heartbreaking for her, and she needs to have maybe someone else to like hold her afloat at least. But it's never the same as your first precious, like one that you, I don't know how to describe it. But like Somi's just not replaceable. Whenever I imagine having another cat, it's just not the same for me.
It's not the same.
It's not.
If Toast was watching your cat and it got run over by a car, what would you do? Do you think the friendship's over?
Well, no, because Somi's the one that booked it out. He can't really, it's kind of like if I run into the road and I'm determined to get hit by a car, I can't really be like, you didn't stop me from getting hit by a car. But I'd be really sad. It's more so like the maximum resentment or the blame would be like, oh, why did you leave the door open? But then it's like ultimately my cat is the one that ran to the road and got hit. So
No, I'm the one driving the car.
Hate you. Oh, you just don't want to be friends. That's what I'm hearing. Like, we don't have to be.
I'm just asking the limits of our friendship.
The
okay?
limits of our friendship if you hit my cat.
Accidentally.
Okay, if you did it accidentally, I could forgive you because I know you would feel immense, like way more bad about it. Like, or I would feel terrible, but like I know you would also feel terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't run over your cat on purpose.
Okay, yeah, then that's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would still be really upset.
As understandably you should be.
Yeah.
Toast, what were you saying earlier about Yvonne?
I can't believe you made it all the way here.
What the fuck is that supposed to
From
mean?
the little hick town of Calgary to Los Angeles.
And you not the same?
I always knew.
That what? You were going to be somebody, that you were going to be something, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I'm not going to apologize for that.
No, you knew?
Yeah, I knew.
How did you know?
I think there are some people in this life that has that drive, and when you see them, you're like, oh, that guy has the drive.
But I see you that way because I see you now.
Mm-hmm.
If I saw you as a software engineer, I probably wouldn't have seen that.
You probably think this guy's a fucking loser.
I
with
would
stupid
think-
dreams.
To be honest, you're like one in like a billion out there who are software engineers who probably just go tech in like NorCal or something.
Yeah, no, my life definitely could have been very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, we see each other. Well, like, how could you look at me and be like, you made it here? Like, damn. I mean, yes, but like,
Don't
hey.
you feel that way
Yeah,
about yourself?
I do,
Yeah.
but hey, you seeing that about me is different.
I no, it's like it's the way you present yourself, Yvonne.
The way I present
Yvonne.
myself. Hey, say it again.
Yvonne.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, could you have imagined yourself in high school being in Los Angeles, being a content creator?
No.
Yeah.
And I think, but that's okay for me to say. For you to say, like,
Why is it not
how did
okay
you
for
end up
me
here?
to say that? Okay, because I don't mean it in a rude way. I mean it in a oh, I think I have an idea of how you saw yourself or see yourself even now. Yeah. I said the town was a hick town. It's
Yeah,
Calgary.
it
okay?
was
That's not,
rude.
you
It
tell
was
me
rude.
Calgarians aren't. You guys have an event based around buffalo stampeding.
Yeah, the Stampede, Calgary Stampede. Hey, what up? It's more like you were like, how did you know how I got here? You were there from the very beginning.
I was like, damn, I can't believe you really made it out of Calgary and all the way to Los Angeles.
That's like, I can't believe you made it out.
But you can, though.
I
You
don't.
can. When you
Not
see-
if I saw you as a software engineer back then. I
Well,
probably
if you
wouldn't have
saw me,
expected it.
like,
But
if
I
you-
can now because I see you sitting here, or like I've been with you all these years. How could you not see that after being with me all these years, huh? Like,
If anything,
You
it
didn't
just
see-
reinforced my belief. Damn, I can't believe she really made it out of the depths of hell.
what do you mean? I was like you. I went to university. I got a job after university.
It's a compliment, Yvonne. I just take the compliment. Like,
That did not sound like a compliment. I
you
can't
were
believe
not
you made it
born
out of
in
here.
an
Is not a
environment
compliment.
that was gonna like make this journey for you easy. Like you literally clawed out the darkest pit to make it to LA.
Dialing it back, actually, let's go to the root problem. The fact that you think what you said is a compliment is the problem. Therapists needed check right now.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about how you guys were in high school.
I didn't speak a single word in my first year of high school, and I ate lunch near my sister's friend group because I didn't have any friends for a whole year, and people just thought I was mute. And I was one of those introverts where if I said something, someone would always point it out. I was like, oh, wow, you can talk. And there was also like the whole, they would point at me and say, hey, why are you so quiet? Which introverts love hearing that when they're just sitting there minding their own business. So high school was pretty rough for me. I didn't say a single word for a whole year and no one really cared.
Yeah, and that's just you just went through high school throughout that.
In grade 11, I learned to do magic tricks. I've told the story so that I can like
Make friends.
make friends and interact with people. And I was that cringe magic trick kid in high school. It helped me a little bit, but also gave me this thing that I still try and work through today, where I feel like I can't be close to someone without impressing them or getting their approval in some way, which has made it hard to build like actual relationships with individuals that's not based on me doing something for them, like a lot of acts of service. And that's why, like, close friends wise, I have very little. And that's why, like, whenever we go out for dinner, I tend to pay for it. A, because, like, I have the most money. I feel like there's some responsibility there. And B, also, it's this thought of, like, oh, I need to do something for everyone or else they wouldn't have a reason to be my friend. Also, that's a lot. My high school was not great.
But that feels I wouldn't want you to feel that way now because that feels awfully transactional.
Yeah, it's something I'm working on, where the idea of prioritizing what I want or what I need is such a unknown concept to me. And because I prioritize others, it also breeds this idea of like, oh, I did this for someone, so our relationship should be like this good. And when that relationship is not that good, I get frustrated. It's like, well, I did all these things for you. And it's because I think a lot of this, I just really never take time to focus. Okay, well, tell us, what do you want out of this relationship or this friendship? Like, you should try and build connection with people that's not based on seeking their approval or trying to impress them or trying to do something for them.
Well, I feel like when we go out and you pay for dinner, I assume you're just like, nah, like I make more than you. I got this. Not like if I stop doing this for you, I'm not doing things for you anymore. And then we're not as good friends or something like that. Because that never crosses my mind. If I ever do something for you or we're like doing something, it's just because I want to, because you're my friend.
Yeah, I would say that's the forefront thing on my mind. Like, I don't assume that off like my close friends,
Yeah.
but like, acquaintances. So I'm trying to not do that as much, especially with people I don't really know. I think in the past it's like, oh, there's a new person here. Like if I'm like hosting a dinner party, or if it's like my close friends, I'll do it. But I think the reason I was doing it is to seek approval, which I don't think is very healthy mindset, because I can easily develop relationships with people without needing to buy them stuff. I don't think anyone in a friend group is that like, oh, if Toast doesn't buy me dinner, then he's less good in my eye.
I almost feel the opposite. Like, I feel like the way I judge or would want to become friends with somebody is if I could offer them almost nothing other than like conversation or my presence. Like, in a group setting, I'm not like, I'll pay for all this, or I'm not like, oh, I'll do this, because I almost want to feel like they don't get any other like crazy benefit from just me. And then I feel a more genuine connection there, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if all you offer is yourself and they're still happy to spend time with you, you know that they just like you as a person.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm more than happy to like feel that connection or the genuineness of the relationship. And then I would way offer to pay or do other things more. But I think it has to like reach a point a little bit for me, at least, to like, because I have a tendency, I mean, I have a lot of friends, and then sometimes I'll just like invite people and I bring people to this or that who like you guys may not know at all, or like at least that's happened a lot in the past. And so
yeah, it has made some of us uncomfortable at times.
yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't doubt it. I'm sure you're not gonna be ecstatic about everybody that I invite to things or bring around, but then we'll never have new people around, and I love introducing people that I like at the time, or that I like, and be like, I like you. I think you would get along great with my friends. And so, but then there just has to be kind of like times where I trust like someone over time in order to do that by like doing,
The way you've been approaching friendship has been really healthy, especially getting the streaming space. I don't like talking about this too much because I hate talking about the struggles of being a streamer, but having people talk to you and not really knowing why, I think affected me a lot to this day, that I feel like unless I can offer them something, I can't build a friendship with them. And that's probably something for my therapist to figure out.
You can lay back. I take a lot of things like very I don't know if I call it superficial. It's like a very neutral platform. Everyone that I talk to is like, oh, hey, like blah, blah. Like I don't offer them anything. I don't ask for anything. And it's a very even playing field. And I continuously will do that over time until there comes a certain point where maybe I trust that they're just like genuinely cool. We have like decent conversation. We're happy to see each other, and then maybe can up it. But just take everything at face value and just like, oh, it is what it is. Unless they outright ask you for something, then I would be a little maybe off by that. It makes you a lot less overthinking about relationships.
You learn a thing or two.
You don't have to offer anybody anything. You just be you, and then you will naturally,
that's like advice your mom gives you. Just be yourself.
But that's really how it is. I think like you can't. What you be you means is like you're not gonna force yourself to hang out with people that you don't click with or vibe with, or like you don't feel that connection to, and then you will hang out with people that you do. That's you being you. It's not like, if anything, you that'll make it easier on you to attract the people that you will have fun hang out with.
Are you a good receiver?
Good receiver? Not of compliments. I was at the gym with a friend the other day, and he said, "Oh, you're looking good." And I said, "Oh, no, it's just because like I'm wearing a tighter fitting shirt." And he said, "Oh, why don't you just accept the compliment?" And I thought to myself, like, oh, I guess I could have just done that.
I do that too.
Every time I receive a compliment, I will always look for a reason to discredit that. It's like, oh, it's because you don't know something about the truth, and I'm not gonna receive this compliment. I'm gonna say like, oh, it's because of this. I was tricking you. So no, I wouldn't say I'm a great receiver of compliments.
I'm not either, but I started trying to adjust that because I didn't want the other person to be like, you're bad at receiving compliments. So I would say like, thanks. I just still want to like work on this though. Yeah. So then that's my like, thanks, but I'm not, no, or like I'm not there yet. But it's like a little, oh, it's like, thanks, like nice that you said something nice, because I would compliment my friends too. And then just say like, oh, I still want to work on this, or I still got this like flab I need to work out and blah, blah, blah.
How come you never compliment me?
You yell at me first and you give me a look and I just can't. And I did today. I said, nice cape.
This is not a cape. This is just like a big shirt.
Okay, nice big shirt.
Thanks. Thanks,
So
Yvonne.
I did compliment you today.
Well, you
and
called it a cape.
And I have complimented you before when we go out to really nice events, like when we go to Streamer Awards or other things. They're like, oh, nice. You look spiffy today.
Spiffy.
Yeah. Or you look good.
Spiffy.
Yeah. You guys say that. We say that all the time.
Spiffy. Sport.
Spiffy?
Spiffy.
What?
Champ.
What?
Chief.
No. What are you saying? What are you saying?
But yeah, I'm working on the compliment thing.
Yvonne, I mean, Yvonne, again, I'm so sorry. What were you like in high school?
Yvonne.
I fell into a clique in my high school because our school was half white, half Asian. And so a lot of the Asians had their own cliques within each other. A lot of the Koreans like there's like lunch tables, and literally just like the Koreans, mainland China, or like Mandarin speakers, and then there was Cantonese. So I was actually in like a Canton. Well, there's like other cultures and stuff too, or ethnicities, but then like it's just a mix of like whatever got along. More like Asian American friend group, actually, I would say. But majority of us are Cantonese, and then yeah. So I was in that group. I was a badminton nerd. I basically went try hard, really want to get on the badminton team. I would go into badminton intramurals. I don't even know what it's called anymore. And then I would wake up at 5 a.m, take the bus so that I could go in early. And then the coach came by, and then he was like, oh, you should try out for the team. And I was like, yes, thank you. And then I was worried because our team had a lot of A-level players, like really good players, basically, that played for the country. And I remember just rallying with this girl, and as I'm rallying with her, I'm like, this girl is cracked. And she's like, oh yeah, I've been playing badminton since I was 3. I get trained at the Glencoe Club, which if you get trained at the Glencoe Club, it's a really expensive and like prestigious club that your parents pay a lot of money for you to have like an annual pass if you're able to train there since you were 3 years old. And so, thankfully, our school, I went to Western Canada High School. They had like a regular level badminton team and then an A-level badminton team. So I was able to be on the team because they had that separation. But I was really try hard for that.
Did you ever play in national events?
No, we would make it to, I don't even know if I made it to provincials. There's provincials. So you have to like win all of the high school ones to make it to provincials. But I never had like a consistent mixed partner. So I play mixed, and my first year, I really liked my partner, but then he wanted to go on like a hero arc. He wanted to do mixed doubles, singles. So each year he would go for a different position. And then for me, I would end up changing partners throughout the years because like, I don't know, it was just randomized at school. It's just whoever tries out for a team, who wants to go that year. And so I never really made it to provincials. I remember crying because I lost one of the matches for us to go to provincials. Yeah. It was really bad, or it was really fun.
Did your parents put any pressure on you to succeed in the things you want to do? Or were they really chill?
Oh, my parents were tiger parents. Like, they very much, I was the only child. I think they did a decent job being tiger parents. Does that make sense? Like, they're not the most extreme, but they definitely were strict. And I remember when I started dating in high school, my first boyfriend, I was 16, and I could not tell my parents. Even telling my parents I was going to hang out in a group of friends, I had to lie and say that the ratio of girls and guys were really different. It had to be a ratio of like 8 girls and 2 guys. And then my mom would be like, okay, but I don't know. It was really hard. It kind of plays into how I want to be as a parent, where I would never want my kid to lie to me because I knew how that was growing up. And I hated lying to my parents, but I felt like I couldn't breathe if I didn't. So I basically lied to them that I didn't have a boyfriend, or that these hangouts would be like these crazy ratios. And then over time, when I started playing badminton, that helped because they they had to know that like badminton is more mixed of guys and girls versus that. So, and then I would also have my friends over all the time. We would play League, or my house was like the hangout house. We'd play Smash Bros or pizza, everything there. And then they got to know my friends, and so they were a bit more lenient as time went on. But I remember telling my dad in university, my third year. So it was like I had my third and my fourth year left. And then my dad was really stern. He's like, you shouldn't date right now. You might like mess up your like the rest of your life. Why not just wait another 1 or 2 years, and then you can like once you graduate, you're good. It's not worth it basically throwing your life away for like a relationship. And I'm thinking like, it's not that big of a deal. Like I'm not gonna, if God forbid anything with this relationship went wrong, I would not be so, like I could not live life, basically is how I felt. But I didn't know how to describe that to my parents, or I didn't really understand how they would be so strict on it. I did and I didn't. But I just didn't listen anyway. And like he gave me the talk, and then that was it. And then I just went on with life. And then my boyfriend would come over, and then my mom just got to know him over time, and she was fine with it. My dad didn't like him, and I felt really bad because for a long time I knew my boyfriend felt bad that like he had to be more hidden from my parents and everything, which is what made me come out because I didn't want to. I was still really under that pressure, but I did it because he was feeling bad. And then I took him to a family dinner, and it was really awkward for my parents, but the rest of the family were fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What happened to that boyfriend?
We broke up.
Why?
It was one of the weirdest, I would say, breakups that I've had because I dated him when I was 16. We were very young. It was like my most immature and toxic relationship where, I mean, I would be the toxic one too. I'd like hang up on him in the beginning because I wanted him to chase me. Or actually, I got mad at him because initially when we first started talking, he was flirting with my friend. So this thing where I used to tie shoelaces, we would play badminton together, and I would tie his shoelaces for him. It was just like a little thing, you know, like we're just like sitting down, and like his shoelaces aren't tied, and like tie it for them. It's supposed to be a cute thing, you know. And he would tie mine. And then one day I'm like rallying, and I see that he's my friend is tying his shoelaces.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah. Well, like if you think about it, why the hell? Like, I think it's so different if you're like a guy friends and you're dicking around or whatever, right? But if you're telling a girl, and she was a bit flirty back then with a lot of people, and so she was tying his shoelaces. They knew we were talking. Everyone knew we were talking.
Were you guys dating?
Talking stage.
Talking stage.
Yeah.
So nothing official yet.
Yes. So I got mad. I did. So it's kind of like one of those like, hey, we're talking stage. I don't need to stay. You know what I mean? Like I could go. You could do whatever the heck you want, but I'm pissed now. And I remember grabbing my bag and I left the gym, and then he followed soon after me. And then he was just like, and I told him why I was upset, and then he never did it again. But I'm just thinking like, should I even forgive that in the first place? And it was just weird because it's my friend. You know what I mean? Like I hate the thing of, you know, that conflict. So that was the only time though that I did feel jealous about that, and then that was fine afterwards.
And you guys became exclusive shoe tires to each other.
I think so, unless he did it another time that I didn't know. But he was it was so interesting. Our dynamic shifted so much. We dated for about 8 years, I think. And initially he was the one who was like super like very lovey and very into me. And then it's not that he wasn't over time, but our dynamic shifted where I was the one who was adjusting to him a lot and walking around eggshells because I'm more chill over a lot of things, and then he's more particular about certain things, and he's very like reserved. So he actually never drank. He never swore. I did not swear until after we broke up, when I was in university at like 22 years old. And I remember one time I took a shot of alcohol for a New Year's party, and then he yelled at me and I cried. Yeah.
No, put it in.
He's Vietnamese. Yeah. My mom told me not to date certain ethnicities. I've dated all of them.
Well, what ethnicity did your mom tell you not to date?
She told me not to date Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese. Well, I have never dated Korean, but, you know, she listed them. 'Cause, you know, she'll say like temper, she'll say something. And then, but I dated almost all of them.
Yeah. I would say most Asian men who was brought up in that like traditional East Asian culture tend not to be able to vocalize their emotion in a very healthy way. It's usually a build up. It's usually like resentment, silent treatment, and then like bam.
Yeah, he punched a wall like the first couple of months we started dating, because his mom didn't like that we were dating, because it was the first time any of her sons had a girlfriend. So he got really mad, punched the wall. And then another time he grabbed my mouse and then threw it against the wall, and then threatened to break the laptop that my parents got me for university.
Damn, should I start punching walls? All these guys are punching walls.
No, it's not.
I'm going to use that trauma against you one day. If you piss me off, I'm just going to punch a wall.
I'll never speak to you. Like that one is really fucked up. I mean, I don't think you are not like a really, I don't know. Well, it made me feel better that you yelled at the person who did it in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when that individual punched the wall, it was just like, bro, why are you doing that?
So he took the cupboard, he slammed it so hard the cupboard door fell off. Oh, this is not my boyfriend. This was when we lived together. Yeah. There was another guy. Yeah. He got really mad. He ran out, punched the gate in the backyard, came back, slammed the cupboard door, and then
something fell out.
The hinges, like, it all fell off. It was really bad. Like, it was really loud, and I was shocked.
Yeah. I mean, I was just annoyed with it because it was, like, I would say it was a conversation that did not need to escalate to that degree. Because it was a little uncomfortable, but I was just trying to, like, figure things out with this individual. And I think they just felt misunderstood and attacked and accused of something. And the way they showed how frustrated they were with that, perceived attack was like, I can't believe you would think this of me, and then like smash something. It's like, well, I mean, clearly it hit a spot. But yeah, that was one of the first times where I felt like I had to say something, because before I came to LA, I would say I'm a very chill person, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and I didn't like conflict at all. But the more time I spend here, the more like situation I get put in where it's like, oh, you have to say something, you have to do something. And that definitely felt like a moment of like, hey, this is that wasn't very cool of you.
I thought OTV was dead that day. Me, Toast, and Scar sat in Scar's room, and I remember specifically sitting against the wall, my knees up like this, and I'm just like, is this it, guys? And then Toast is like, hey, come here after and then I go into his room, and then he's like on his computer, and he's showing me, he's like, Yvonne, we could live here, and he shows me these apartments in Little Tokyo. Yeah. And then he's like, look at these, like, I get 2-person bedroom, whatever heck. And I like, bro was really already thinking about piecing out. Of course, like, it's in the moment, and then everything, was resolved afterwards. But we talk about that sometimes, and it's kind of funny. And then there's one period of time where we moved sort of close to Little Tokyo, and he sent me a really cute message. Like Toast sent me a message, and then like out of the blue, and he's just like, "Hey, like it turns out we did end up moving out to like around Little Tokyo or something like that, like we said we would like years ago."
Yvonne had a lot of ops back then. I think that was one of the reasons it was easier to get close to Yvonne, because I felt like she needed help more, and it made me comfortable around her. And this, I would say, this is more of a thing I should work on, where like I should learn to be friends with someone who don't need my help, or develop a friendship. Because I would say like these days you don't need my help. Like you're fine by yourself, and we're still like friends, and we're still developing our friendship. But I think what made it easier for me to be your friend was back then, and it felt like you could use some help pretty often, because you were just in situations where like some people didn't like you, or there was some people who like had issues with you. In those moments, it made me feel
I was more passive, of course, and I also wasn't the best at expressing my feelings or communicating in that way. And then Toast would just, I think, feel bad for me, and he would like either believe me as a person, or there's some things that I think he just didn't feel like were right, etc. And then it made him feel like he had to be the one to say something or like step in for things. Yeah.
yeah. But I think you have developed splendidly these last few years. I want to say the biggest moment where okay, I'll throw you under the bus for a sec. There was one moment where I realized, oh, I need Yvonne to kind of speak up for herself, and I can't be the one to do it for her. It was, I think, 4 years ago, where everyone was deciding where to live. And Offline TV was having this big discussion of like, oh, we should get a new house and have everyone, me, you, Lily, Scara, Michael. And I remember you were kind of on the fence, and they asked you, it's like, hey, Yvonne, would this work for you? And you're like, yeah, that could work. And the week before, I heard this girl agree to 3 other individuals living at another house that she would go live with them.
See, I'm confused about that because I thought that was always what I said my initial plan was. And then I wasn't sure if we were finalizing on things. I thought we were just like, this is option A, this is option B. And like, yeah, I could see that. But like, I don't know. I think I just clearly like had bad communication or understand the situation wrong. And I thought, I take the L for whatever it is. Like fully doesn't matter, because I think that I could have just communicated better.
I think it was just hard to kind of be the one, because it almost felt like if you said no, oh, there might not be an offline TV house.
Yeah, there's that too.
So it was like, oh, well, I can't be the one that says, actually, I made plans to live with someone. It's like, I think in the world, you would have not lived with them and lived with offline TV to really make it work. But I remember after that, there was a huge, like, kind of a little bit of tension between people of like, oh, where's Yvonne living? Because she said this to them and she said this to us.
Yeah, I told someone's like, what do you want to do? And I said, this is what I want to do. And then people were like, how about this? And I was like, okay, like maybe we could do that. I don't know. I could be remembering it wrong, but I just think regardless, better communication could have been had. That's just totally fine.
Do you remember it being an issue?
God, I do, but it's because it's so long ago that my memory is not exactly clear on it. But I mean, I do remember one of the problems I had with it was like, if I were to be back then being in a relationship, potentially being in a house with my SO, I didn't really want that just in case, like anything. Yeah. So that was another concern that I had.
Which I think was super fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was hard to vocalize those concerns back then.
Yeah, I think I was also not in a place or a position that I felt more confident in myself. My place was not very solid. I wasn't sure what was happening, whether that was around the time, like if I was going to be a house manager still or content creator even. And that felt very awkward place to be, to make a decision that could impact OTV while selfishly wanting things for myself at the same time. So it was like trying to communicate and juggle things, and then not like, it was just a lot. And I think short circuited or got stun locked, of wanting to make everybody happy somehow in some way. Yeah.
But I think now you would definitely make good decisions and better communication. Because I've seen you do it. Like nowadays, when you want something, like, oh, I prefer to do this, even if it feels like it's not what everyone wants. And because you vocalize that, everyone's like, oh, we can work around that. It's like, I'm glad she's saying what she wants, so we know what she wants to do.
Well, over time, I just feel like I'm more in a position to be more comfortable. I've like grown into myself, I feel. I think the earlier years, I felt very small, and I felt like I didn't really have the right to say a lot of things, or my opinion would maybe feel like it's last or should be prioritized last. And I think when you feel that way for a long time, when people ask you what you want, knowing it could affect an outcome very drastically, it does get to you a little and makes you feel like you're really selfish for saying XYZ. But yeah, I think over time you learn that just say whatever it is and people can make their decisions off of that. But I think you guys have also helped me be more confident and be more the person I am. I think after 2020, I started easing into myself a lot more because I watched old videos or VODs with like Dr. K, or even old videos. I'm like, I hate using the word cringe in this sense, but like I cringe at how I sounded and everything. I hate looking back at those videos being like, that's how I was. I don't like that at all. Like the way I would talk, the way I would react to things, how like mousy I felt like I sounded because I just had such a small sense of self.
Yeah, you were really pathetic back then.
Damn you.
Wow. I'm very proud of all the progress you made. Let's move on to the game. Chelsea made a game for us. So basically, Chelsea's going to ask the question, who's more likely to say, eat healthy? And then 3, 2, 1, we hold up the person. 3, 2, 1. Now, Yvonne, you got to be honest. This game only...
Excuse me? You lived with me. I ate healthy a lot, and I had good self-control. You were the one who would snack a lot.
There is actually... I'm talking about now. There is no way you're eating healthier than me now.
Okay, the past month, yes.
Who's most likely to show up late for a shoot?
Yeah, it might be me.
I think yes, you, but not on purpose because you live far away.
Yeah.
And it's usually pretty hard for you to attend things. I would say I'm less late than you, but I also have way less excuses because I'm generally living at the place for the shoots. But for the record, Yvonne is more late than me.
I am.
But I would say I'm never frustrated or like think, oh, she's late again, because I know you have to drive longer than most people.
Yeah. Sometimes it's traffic dependent. Sometimes I am baking something last minute to bring to people.
Okay, the baking thing you got to work on, man, because you know how long these things take.
It ends up being longer because something goes wrong and then I have to come.
Something always go factor the time in, man.
I know. So I stopped baking. We're coming over.
Every time, yeah, I'm going to bring cookies. It's like, all right, I'm going to add 40 minutes to our arrival time.
Who's most likely to go on Reddit and write positive things about themselves in hate forums?
Me. I would never do it anonymously, though, but I will upvote and downvote things I like or dislike.
I rarely click anything on Reddit other than the forums. I never upvote, comment.
For the record, it's because I started my career on Reddit. My first piece of content was uploaded on Reddit. So I was like a Reddit user beforehand.
Who's most likely to Google themselves?
Me. How often do you Google yourself?
Not very often.
I haven't Googled myself in a while. I think I do it like once every 4 months, usually when I'm feeling low on self-esteem. But I haven't done so in the last year.
Okay.
Who's most likely to sell their body for $5 million on OF?
You would do that?
If someone was to pay me $5 million, wait, what am I doing with my body?
Yeah. If I'm selling feet pics, I'll do it for $5 million.
It's you and your body.
Do I show my penis?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it'd be for sure him. I'm not even thinking about that.
Is there another individual involved?
No.
It's a full body picture of me naked. Would you do it, Yvonne? The thing is, I have money, so I don't know if I have that motivation.
I mean, like, I don't think I care enough. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think I care about having that much. Like, I have enough to live life.
I think if I had to do it, I would. And I wouldn't feel that bad about it because it's just the human body.
I think I just feel like I would get by life fine without having to.
Yeah, I think if my viewers went out to look at what my naked body looks like, it's kind of on them. Hey, want to see a naked picture of toast with a dick out? And you press yes, it's like, and you're gonna see it and be like, yep, that's toast naked.
Who's most likely to be the reason the group falls apart?
Ooh. Well, right now it would be you for sure.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, it's me. It's just because, there's so many reasons. And honestly, has happened more than once in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of, hey, not gonna lie. It's just, yeah, no, you know what? It would be me. It
Yeah,
would
you
be
don't
me.
have to
And
explain.
it has been me.
Who's most likely to start online beef and play victim when it backfires?
I don't really get into beef online though.
Yeah, like if I had to pick someone, I would pick me. But well, yeah, no. It depends on my strategy. I don't think I would start beef, but I would try not play victim, but look more sympathetic than the other person, which is just basic online marketing. Like no one wants to be seen as like the aggressor or the bad guy. It would be me.
Who's more likely to expose someone's secrets while streaming?
I think it's you.
I don't think so. I think it's more likely to be you because you lack as much awareness as me. I don't think either of us will expose secrets.
I think it's you because you have said things that I feel like you say one layer above what I would say.
Okay, that's fair. I'll switch my vote to me. One of the struggles I have, because before I moved to LA and had streamer friends, I would just say what's going on with my life. I would be really open about it. And now I have friends in the same scene, and I would be talking about my own life, and tangentially, I never name names, might apply to someone else. And then I would get a message from someone like, hey, I don't like, what are you talking about me? It's like, bro, no, I wasn't talking about you. And sometimes I miss those days. Sometimes I miss being able to just say what I'm going through and what's going on in my life without having to think about what some acquaintance might feel about what I said.
See, I never get those messages.
Who's most likely to cry while streaming?
Probably me.
Right, Yvonne?
Yeah. I've definitely cried from being scared. I've cried from being emotional. I've cried from a lot of things, which is weird because I'm normally not a crier.
Usually around the time of your month, you get really emotional. And I don't mean that in any way other than factual.
I wonder if it's an age thing that it can get more intense over time. But I don't know. But that's why I tried Googling it, and they're like, symptoms or like things like that can increase over time.
Who's most likely to catch feelings for someone for clout?
It would have to be you, but not in the, cloud is such a bad word. I think when someone has quote unquote clout, it generally means they're pretty successful and driven and, good at something, right? So it's never real. I don't think Yvonne would be attracted to someone just because they have clout, but I think what gave them clout would attract her, because I think Yvonne does want a guy that is impressive in their field. She doesn't want to date a boy. She wants
That
to
would
date
be
a man.
nice.
Yeah.
I am also low key. I'm like at times desensitized too, because I feel like I just know so many successful people that I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
really good. So it has to be something that like I like, I think.
I think that has happened with some of our gal friends when they
Uh-huh.
date like a very like nice guy, like a
Mhm.
nice normal guy. But that normal guy, like when he has to hang out with like a lot of creators at a pretty high level, sometimes they're just fine with it, and sometimes it does affect things a little bit. So I think they gotta be impressive in their own field. So yeah, I would vote Yvonne
Similar.
for this one.
Who's more likely to take a crying selfie?
I don't think I ever have. I always forget. Sometimes I see people doing that, and it's like, that's funny, and I want to remember to do that, but I always forget.
Who's more likely to get caught after checking a significant other's phone?
Have you? Oh, you have? I've never looked through anything of people I've been in a relationship with. Sometimes I have that thought, like when things are bad or like I'm feeling insecure, But I think once you do that, it's like it's a violation.
It's been person dependent for me. There's been people like the thought of it never even crosses my mind, and then there's people like, because I think I have PTSD right now, it's like I will. Not like only with I think a specific person. I think like future people might not feel that like right to, you know?
Yeah.
And then like once you feel that right to, it's like that's when it goes that way. Yeah.
Realistically, once you feel the need to check their phone, it's already like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to make a playlist for their crush but never send it?
Oh, but never send it? I would send it.
I wouldn't make it.
You wouldn't make it?
I wouldn't make a playlist.
Really?
Yeah.
I would make a well, okay, so this is the thing. You would be more likely to not send it, but I would be more likely to make it and send it. Maybe it's me.
Who's more likely to be mean to their crush?
It's called negging. It's a pickup artist strategy.
So annoying.
Where you put down the girl so she tries to win your approval. Okay.
Like, do you guys think that works?
I don't think it works. I think once you develop a rapport and teasing and back and forth banter relationship with someone, yes. But it's kind of like, I'm going to be real and take off my character. It's this idea of like people in the pickup community, they try and replicate the action without understanding what led up to those actions. So negging is just essentially a form of teasing. Like, but once you're teasing with someone, it's because you guys have a nice relationship and there's like sparks flying. But those guys, they see it, it's like, oh, insult woman, get woman, right? Where if you can see past that and understand what led to that interaction, it basically means be confident, be funny, and have a rapport, which is just basic. Like,
yeah, otherwise, I just feel like I'm being rage baited.
yeah. But if you're a guy who doesn't have that social awareness, or you just listen to random men online, you might take away, it's like, oh, I'm just going to insult the girl. So I vote for myself. Not that I do this. I don't insult girls to try and win their approval.
But you just said you did.
Huh?
Oh,
no, I don't.
You slipped up. Oh,
I don't. Okay, yeah, I don't do negging. I banter with people I enjoy bantering with. Yeah.
And that's all the questions. Toast, you won.
Bro, Chelsea, these questions are leading.
These
These are leading ass questions. Hey, did you swipe right on anyone?
That was my homework.
Yeah. Woohoo! Let's see the guys.
Oh, you're going to be ecstatic. I want you to know that I almost feel bad because this was for homework. I even helped an ex through a lot of them so that he could look through some things.
Wait, so did you match with people?
That was the guy you told me to match with last week.
This guy.
Yeah. I haven't replied.
Oh my. Okay, so Yvonne's homework was to have a conversation with a guy.
I don't think I'm capable.
This guy, he sent you a rose. So of all the choices he had for that day, you were the best one. Okay, I mean, how do you open? What do you even open with? Like, I think about it. If a guy wants to send me a message as his first message, like what would I want to see?
You're setting them up for failure with the free written photo.
I don't think so. I think I'm setting them up for success.
Okay, look at the other ones.
Maybe this isn't a really lesson for Yvonne. It's a lesson for all the lonely girls out there who want to get on dating apps and aren't getting a lot of matches, on how they can get boys to message them.
What do you mean?
Because I would say I made it very easy for boys to message you with your profile that I made.
Not with the pictures. Actually, I would say the one prompt also, the one that was like, you have to be okay with taking like 10 photos of me. I think that's you would be surprised at how many guys are just like, that sounds like high maintenance. I don't want to do the work.
Oh, do people say that?
No, but I think that's what they're thinking. So they don't even swipe in the first place. And that was the first prompt.
Yeah, this guy opened with, it's funny because when I saw your first picture, I was like, she kind of looks like Freyrin. Haha. I just started watching. It's so wholesome.
Yeah, it's wholesome.
It's wholesome.
Yeah. I said one thing. That was my homework.
Well, you matched and then you didn't say anything. And then he sent a follow-up message.
I forgot.
She didn't reply. Anyway, hi there. Bro, you are killing this man. Okay, he sent you a message and he sent a follow-up. Okay, this guy, I respect you. If I ever send a message and the girl doesn't respond, it's like, all right, peace, go on with your life, queen. But this guy, he's persistent. Anyway, hi there. So did you sew this cosplay yourself or did you get it through commission? I had to buy mine through the years when I have cosplay. Okay, he's doing good. Because he's sprinkling like, oh, I do it too, but he's not making it the focus. And he asks you a question to let you know that he understands like the cosplay, mechanics a little bit. And he followed up.
Can I be honest? So the reason why I didn't reply, he had to double reply, was because I don't check it. And then I checked it because I wanted to make it easy so you could pick the ones that you like, or, because there was like 50 plus before. So I had to like filter the ones so you could see some messages. So that's when I went on. That's when I replied. So he double texted, I think, because I didn't reply for days.
I like your response as well. You responded, hi. Lol, no, I'm not talented like that. I bought off Amazon, crying face emoji. What did you cosplay as before? I like that you asked, like, this is a master class in like good conversation where he drops a little hint and you can like choose to accept that bid, right? It's called like a bid for attention. It's like, oh, here's a bid. I also cosplay, but he didn't like just take over it. And you accepted that bid. It's like, oh, what did you cosplay? Mwah. This is a great convo. I love it. Fellow paying traveler with the cosplay. I've cosplayed characters in my 20s. I've done Spike from Cowboy Bebop and Shiro from Voltron. All of them I commissioned from friends. Usually I go as a tag along for conventions. Do you go often? And you didn't reply. This was yesterday. Also, you sent this at 1:45 a.m. What you doing up that late, Yvonne, on the dating apps?
That was literally just because it was before we had to do the podcast.
1:45 a.m. Feeling a little lonely at night?
Shut up. I'm going to kill you.
Well, we should respond to this.
We should?
We should. Bro, oh my God. You and this guy, you guys are going to be such a lovely couple. Look, he's handsome. I don't know what, like, Chelsea, have you seen this guy? He's fucking handsome.
Sorry, not to say that he's not, but I think I just did not catch that on the same level that you guys did.
Can I see him?
Okay, Jody, one of the experts on men.
Okay, Jody, like it's not that I think he's ugly. I just don't.
You don't have to go on.
I wasn't like, wow.
Okay, I have a hot take.
Go ahead.
I'm scared of men who wear hats.
Okay, well, he doesn't have a hat in this one.
Okay, we're good.
What would you quantify him? Yeah, handsome, attractive, cute, meh.
He's cute.
That was a elongated cute.
I think handsome. I mean, of course he's handsome.
He might be better in person, but he's like a 6 to me.
He's punching a punching bag at the gym.
That's not super attractive.
Oh, I think going to the gym is like a good indicator.
Yeah, it is.
He has a cat.
That's better.
All right, Jody, how you feeling? Yeah, combo wise, I'm impressed. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah, if anything, I'm the problem.
You get together with him and you say, hey man, we're going to grow your hair out a little bit and I'm going to take you to the salon. 8.
Oh!
That could be it.
He's really big on the hair.
Yeah, I know, because she, like, when I'm looking, I'm like,
She's so real.
Yeah, she is.
So real.
I was like, thank you. I feel low-key a little bit validated.
Well, Jody gave him a possible 8. So yeah.
I think for me, I just have a really hard time with dating apps because I am much more of like an in-person person.
Just meet up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Yvonne, I'm gonna call you out here. It is so straightforward to meet up with someone and just see, hey, if there's anything there. If not, just literally save the 1 week of texting, right?
I mean, I don't even want to text for a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think these dating apps, people, the back and forth on the apps seem to be like a whole thing. And it doesn't really matter. Like, you can kind of set things up, but what matters is when you guys meet up and if there's a spark, right?
Yeah.
So everything leading up to it is a little, it's not efficient. Right?
Yeah, that's what turns me off from it a lot, is that it's just not efficient. I feel like I don't want to text a lot. It takes up a lot of time. If it doesn't work out, then like it's all that time and for what? And
Okay. I'm gonna throw something crazy out there. Are you okay if I ask, hey, you want to grab a cup of coffee next week? Will you go on it?
Can I be so for real?
Be for real.
I would only be doing it for the plot.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I
do
mean?
it for whatever.
Like, I would only do it for the plot. I feel, oh God, I don't know. I just like the idea of meeting somebody naturally so much more in a way. But not to say like dating apps are wrong.
You don't go out.
Like, hey, if they don't catch me as I'm delivering my trash to the trash chute, or when I'm going downstairs to grab my packages, or the off chance that I'm out and about somewhere running errands, sorry, man.
You're gonna limit your pull to people you see when you throw out your trash or when you're getting boba. He fixed his hair up, but he's an 8, man. You're punching up.
Fuck you. How dare you say that to me? How dare, as my friend, the audacity for you to say that is crazy.
Explain your thought process of this whole meet cute thing.
Okay. Dating apps have always felt extremely underwhelming for me. I remember there was a period of time where I was like, I would love to try them because it seems like a part of just experiencing something that could be fun. But then having my dose of them, it's like the conversations have felt uninteresting to me. It feels so waste of time and inefficient. I feel like I'm so much more productive when I meet somebody in person and I vibe with them. And also for me personally, I'm at a spot where I am so content with my life. I'm like, other than the times I think I said before where I am at times like, oh, it would be nice to have like a person who's obviously undying support for you, or like a companion and all that kind of stuff that I love. That's really nice to have. But I'm also very rich in other things that I have in life, like my friends, my work and everything. I feel so happy with Somi that I just don't feel, I think if I really, really, really wanted a companion, I would work a lot harder. And I feel like I'm kind of chilling because I am chilling.
Hey, time's ticking.
I know.
Time's ticking.
How can I, like, my age does not match where I feel in life. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, my age makes me feel like, okay, yeah, time's ticking. But where I want to be is I want to be like in my early 20s where I'm like, don't got to think about a relationship at all type of vibe because I'm happy. My mental, great right now. It's chilling, consistent. Like, I only worry about myself for the day, and I get to hang out with Miss Somi, and it's just so nice. It's nice.
Hey, Yvonne, if you're not interested in a relationship, you don't have to go on a date with this guy.
I would want that because I do feel like, for one, I would love the feeling of that and everything, but like the inconvenience of or putting effort in is obviously, it's kind of like nobody wants to go to the gym. If you want to look good, if you want to feel good, you got to go to the gym. You got to put yourself out there. You got to put in the work. And I understand that when it comes to relationships. But I'm at the point right now where I'm talking about going to the gym, but I'm not going to the gym yet. Does that make sense? Maybe a little bit. I'm like, I want to go to the gym. I eventually want a relationship, but I'm not putting the effort and time to do it.
You like the idea of having a loving and fulfilling relationship, but you're just not interested in putting in the work.
Yes.
So how are you going to find that?
I hope it hits me in the face.
So your hope is that one day you'll feel motivated to really want to find love and then take it seriously.
Also, I saw a TikTok the other day that was kind of like, you could enjoy your time because your love life can change in an instant. You could meet somebody literally the next day getting coffee or something, and you just like, that's it. You're not single anymore. You're like in this whole thing. So thinking that it could happen at any moment is just letting me like not be so pressed about it. A little bit. Like I am a bit pressured, but not as much maybe. I don't know. I flip flop between it all.
Yeah, I can tell. You're going on a date with this guy or what? What's your word? Okay, look. Okay. Besides the fact that you might be an axe killer. But do you not want to do it because it might lead to something more? Or do you just not want to meet up with a guy on a dating app?
Maybe all of it.
Because the way you're talking is like, oh, yeah, if I'm in a relationship. Nobody's talking about a relationship. You want coffee with the guy or not?
Well, why waste somebody's time?
Do you think you'd be really wasting his time in the sense like no matter who he is, what he says, that it doesn't matter? It's like, yeah, I'm just here for the content.
How I feel right now would be for the plot. But, I don't know. Just feels like so much work. You know, on dating apps, like the thing that guys are most afraid of are that the girl doesn't look like her photos. Girls are most afraid of getting killed.
I will say this guy did not have a picture of him with friends. Small red flag. He boxes, so if he ever gets angry at you, you're pretty fine.
What? I'm in the punching bag? No, I don't. I'm being locked right now. My brain is short circuiting. I cannot make a decision for the life of me in this very moment.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, we can only do this if you're comfortable with it.
Really? Bro was like, are you gonna go or not?
But I need the content for our podcast. Okay, the weekly Yvonne love life update can't go on unless you go on this date with this random stranger.
I love that we can talk about other things on the podcast, so that's been great.
Do you want me to go with you? I can go with Chelsea.
You guys sit in the corner?
Yeah, we sit in the corner and we'll have like
that sounds fun to me.
On.
Like that sounds more fun because that sounds like an activity we're doing together and we could talk about it.
Here's the thing. We put a recorder on you.
No.
So we record the whole conversation and we're secretly filming as well.
Hey, privately, that would be awesome, but we can't do that. But, you know, that would be really fun if we could.
Chelsea has a friend in Burbank. And you
Chelsea
know
has a
he's
friend in
not an
Burbank.
axe murderer.
True. You said you grew up with him, right? Confirmed not axe murderer.
I don't know, Yvonne. I'm getting mixed signals. Like, it sounds like you're not interested in a relationship.
I am, but mentally, like, how do I say it? Logically, I should. And I want that when I see that my friends have such great, stable relationships. And I would love to have that for myself. And then, like, be able to put in time and effort into somebody where it could grow into something. But mentally, I'm in shambles sometimes.
And you worry a relationship will exacerbate that.
I just want to have my mind in a more clear space and a more accepting space because I have been riddled and shackled with people or person in the folds of my brain for a very long time.
What the hell are you saying?
I mean, I want to feel more detached to people emotionally before I venture off. Does that make sense?
You want to be more secure in yourself. You don't want to feel like your emotions can be influenced by your partner. You've given up on relationships.
Oh. Okay. I have been hung up on a person for a very long time. And you know this, okay? You know this. And I need to be a little more freed from the shackles of that before I can rightfully feel good.
So it all comes that, all right? Wow, I can't believe you said that on the podcast.
I know, but you're pressuring me.
We don't have to put any of this in, okay? Why the fuck did you make a Hinge account then? What was all of this for?
The Hinge account.
Fuck, we gotta scrap everything.
No, we don't have to scrap everything. No. That is totally fine. That's like not, I'm not super private about that. Like, that's okay. Like, it's fine.
That makes a lot of sense. It just sounds like you're not ready.
like, how do I say? I'm a good percentage there, but in order to be fair, I want to basically how I envision like me, if I ever do meet somebody that I end up with for a long time, or that I'm like, I want to go in being like, oh yeah, I've like been good, cleared my brain, restart, and I'm fully accepting of a lot of things instead of going in with baggage, essentially, or being and getting into something and being like, well, I still have this like issue that I have. Like, I don't want that for the next person. I want us to be like, oh yeah, when I met you, like I was in a really good spot and it was really good. That's what I want.
Your circumstances right now won't allow you to fully embrace the possibility of a new relationship, and would be unfair to you, the person, and the new guy as well. And you want to make sure all of that is
I want to make sure it's all good,
all settled,
yeah,
so that when the right guy does come along, you can like really consider it.
Yeah, and I think I'm at a good spot to like get to that place. I think it's like it's a trajectory thing, and I'm like making my way there.
I think that's very fair and a mature way to approach this. When you started talking about this individual in the folds of your brain, I was really confused.
Well, it's like I watched this Emma Chamberlain type of thing where she was talking about this situationship or this relationship that she had. And it was about how she was in the trenches with this guy. And that is how it's been for a long time for me as well, because I think I'm a long-term relationship girly no matter what. And once I'm attached to somebody, it's like I try my best to make it work until I'm no longer in love as much anymore, maybe. And then it kind of starts falling downhill. But you are like fighting for it for a really long time. I feel like I'm going through mountains and then there's a lot of mud and I have to like trek along a lot of things. And at some point you just get tired. I'm like, oh, this is not.
It's not working.
There's too much weather. Yeah. So it's a time that you gotta go home.
Yeah, really take a step back. You know, don't be in a relationship for what it potentially can be. You should be in it for what it is. And if
something
it's not working.
This like Megan Fox interview really stood out to me. She had like an interview with Drew Barrymore, I think, and she was describing her poems and the stuff that she wrote. And basically, one of her poems is about being in love with the potential of somebody, and you do really love them. You think they're a great person, but you're hoping that their potential comes out one day, but you might be waiting forever for that to happen. Like you might be waiting for something that could happen or might never come. And then at some point you have to weigh the option, like, is it worth waiting for this potential, or are you going to be waiting forever? And so for me, it's too uncertain and I can't wait forever.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think when you guys are in bad relationships, that potential can't come out until you both kind of like separate and have time to like grow as individuals, right? I would say, would it be fair to say you grow more outside of relationships than in a relationship?
This is actually the very first time period where I felt more independent in my life. I'd always been in really long-term relationships, and then sometimes they are soon after the other. And I think I grew a lot. I'm very happy for it, which is why I feel like I'm more confident that this time I could totally just be off on my own for a long time and be okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to explain to this guy how you're not ready just yet. But one day, once you're ready, you will love to catch up with him over a cup of coffee, whenever that is. And if he's the good guy we think he is, he'd be okay with that. And if he's an incel, he'll say, fuck you, bitch. You were fat anyway.
Okay, you gonna tell him that?
Yeah, I'll message him.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing that, Yvonne. I think I have a better understanding of where you're at, you know, relationship-wise. Oh, that's another episode in the bag. Might be our last episode ever, actually.
What?
Because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, but what do you mean ever?
I mean, it's hard, you know, your schedule, my schedule. I'm not going to be around for a little while. We actually don't like, you know, I don't know if people even like this podcast. You know, we could be canceled. I've said a lot of stuff already. And that's like the surface stuff. Well, until we get to the race tier list that I have planned. But thank you all for listening. Really appreciate the support. If you guys like this podcast, let us know. And we'll maybe see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.